Nikki, how are you doing? I hope you're really well. Today I would love to talk about speaking and its possibilities because they really are endless, and I think they can really change your business and bring more ease and flow, even though you might be thinking, I hope you've got something good to say, Nikki, actually, because it's the last thing I want to do and I don't like public speaking and I'd rather do anything else. Speaking has really changed over the last decade. And when we used to think about speaking and experts, we might put somebody up there in terms of a celebrity or a footballer or some film star being interviewed in a press junket or on a talk show, or maybe a motivational speaker at a conference or a seminar. But with the development of podcasts and the digital world and social media, there are so many opportunities to have a chat, essentially. And speaking doesn't necessarily have to be you delivering some big keynote to a big audience and feeling like you have to be all of the things. There are so many opportunities where you could be interviewed, where you can run small workshops, where you could host live events, but have people, I don't know, in your living room or around a table in a hired space. And one of the things that is really happening a lot for my clients is, because I regularly book speaking gigs, I know that, especially in lockdown, the companies that I was speaking for and delivering things for, they were always asking me, like, do you know anybody who knows about X? Or how can you recommend somebody who might be able to help us with this? And so often I would be able to, and I would say, oh, I know this person, or I could do an email introduction, or this person would be great. And quite often that meant me going to my client or a pal or somebody that I know and saying, this opportunity has come up. What do you think? Or what would you talk about? And sometimes the urge can be, oh my goodness, I've never done this before. I don't know. So my question for you today is, well, firstly to say, there are opportunities everywhere. There are opportunities all of the time. And I am always blown away with the things that come into my email inbox. And I'm like, how did that person find me? Or, oh, I wasn't even using that particular platform, but yet somebody has mentioned me or something has happened. So firstly, I want you to be in that possibility of not knowing where the next opportunity could be, because believe me, they are everywhere. There are so many people, never more so than now, I would say, who want to develop their skills or want to sharpen what it is that they do already, or broaden their horizons or expand their learning, their knowledge. And if you've got that, it's really valuable. So the next thing I want you to think about is, what would you deliver? And let's say it's an hour or 45 minutes. What would you do within that time to really support somebody? What would be the journey that you would take somebody on from start to finish? And again, you might be like, well, I don't really know anything about them, or I don't know where they're up to right now. And of course, you can build that picture even more when you have a conversation with the client, but it's really worth thinking about right now. Also, it will allow you to really go in deep about the questions that you need to ask and how you work best. So what you might discover when you're planning this talk or this keynote or workshop, you might think, actually, I'm really in my zone of genius, to quote Gay Hendricks from The Big Leap, when I work with people who are at this certain point. I was actually having this conversation with a pal of mine the other day, and she was really being so useful and helpful in terms of my business. And she was drawing things as I was talking. It was so beneficial. But one thing that she reflected back to me is, I really hear that you like people, or not like people, like to work with people once they are at a certain stage. And this wasn't about knowing all the things, but for me, it's really about And something that's really aligned with me and important to me is a sense of let's go, let's do it. So it might be let's go, let's do it. Even though I'm scared, even though I don't know all the answers, I'm willing to play. And that really is exciting for me. And that is something that I feel like I can work with in a great way. And I know that I'm not very good, or I'm less good when I feel that I'm on the back foot, or I have to convince people, or I have to say, coaching's really great, and somebody be like, yeah, I don't really get it, whatever. Like, I don't think it's going to work for me, whatever. In fact, I want somebody who's going to come to the table and say like, oh, I've already tried this and this, or I already know that I want to do this. And now it's a case of really getting the momentum going. So I know when I'm focusing in terms of speaking, I don't necessarily want people in the audience who are like this, oh gosh, what time is she going to go on till? Is this like skeptical, bad vibes, bad energy? And that's not to say that everybody has to like me, for sure. But I do want that willingness. And so that's really important. That's really important and gives me clues as to how I pitch, who's going to be a really good fit, and it helps me design the content, etc. So there's lots in there today. I would love to invite you to grab a piece of paper and a pen and ask yourself, actually, if somebody asked me to do a 45-minute talk or an hour talk, what would I talk about? Maybe there is something in this for me, and maybe this could be a really good way of talking to more people that I want to. And I've seen it time and time again. There's always that moment where I will deliver something and I'm there as a paid speaker and I will do my talk. And then afterwards, when I'm finished, often on the way home, I'll feel my phone ping with sales, with inquiries, with I now know what to do, or I'm interested in working with you. And it's such a great way to connect with clients and potential clients. If you want to know more about Speak Up, I have a program for you to help you start booking speaking gigs, but not just that, really focusing on what your online presence is. So by the time people come to your inbox and say, we're doing this, we would like you to do this, it's not a back and forth, please can you convince us that this is going to be a good idea. It's pretty much a sense of, I'm just asking for your rates and your availability, and that's all we need to do here. So as part of this program, I really help you to build that online profile. So your messaging is really clear. So you start to be booked on podcasts. You have ideas for content. So you're never stuck going, I don't really know who I am. Do I have to make a reel? I'm not really sure. You're always promoting and marketing your business in a way that feels good to you, but also makes sense to your potential client or customer. I am going to leave it there for today. Thank you so much for being with me. You can find all the details in the description box, nikkiraby.com/speak up. There are 4 payment options, so you can choose how you want to pay. You can pay in full, or you can pay over 4 different ways. So let me know if you've got questions. Let me know if you have questions around, is this right for me? Would this work for my business, or any questions that you may have? Email me or DM me, you're welcome to. All right, thank you so much for listening, for watching, and I will see you again very soon. Lots of love.